hotel, as you probably know, was built in the 1920s, has long served as one of Petaluma's only single-room occupancy housing units. For decades, it's provided crucial long-term affordable housing for hundreds of people over the years. But this began to change last October, when the building was bought up by Terrence Andrews from Marin, property owner from Marin. One of his first acts was to raise rents. His first attempted rent increase was upwards of 16%, which he actually had to back down from because that's an illegal rent increase, and he was made to back down from that, but did eventually raise rents by 10% on all the tenants. But at the same time, he also promised that he would not be removing folks from the building. About 2-3 months later, that promise was reneged upon, and the nearly 100 tenants of the hotel were given eviction notices, some given 30-day notices, longer tenants were given 60 days. Several tenants then enlisted the support of the Sonoma County Solidarity Network, which is a volunteer organization dedicated to stopping worker and tenant abuses here in Sonoma County. Since then, starting in early March, we've assisted tenants in crafting demands, which you have there with you in your little booklet, and also just making their situation known to the public, which is what we're doing here today. March 20th, we held a small picket outside of the hotel to draw attention to the situation, and then last Tuesday, we held our first public meeting at St. Vincent Parish Hall, right next to us, and about 60 people attended, including about a dozen tenants. And there we formulated a strategy to win this campaign and to pressure Terrence Andrews to do the right thing and meet our demands. Relocation assistance in the form of $1,000 for each evicted tenant, the prompt return of rental deposits, and we also are asking that he maintain a certain percentage of rooms in the hotel for affordable housing under the current rental rates. Instead of raising the rates, we're asking that he maintain a percentage, about 15% of rooms at an affordable rate, which would basically allow the people who are in the hotel still to remain. There are a number of ways we intend on achieving these goals. Before we announce them, I wanted to give people a chance to hear from some of the current and former tenants themselves. So first, I just wanted to introduce Craig, and I wanted to know if you wanted to come up and just share a little bit of your experience, and you can introduce yourself. So yeah, thanks, Craig.
Hi, my name is Craig Croxett. I moved in the hotel in '04. I moved out, well, this last February. When they first initiated with the takeover, I started looking up, these things were all wrong. The civil rights were all violated. Civil Code 1950.5, subsection H, notice of sale of retail property and transfer of security deposit balance. Yeah. Your rights were being violated, not only mine, but fellow tenants, my neighbors, and friends. That's not right.
You know, we've been working with upwards of 20 plus tenants in the hotel who have, you know, kind of signed on to these demands and supported them. Almost everyone who lived in the hotel, current and former tenants, have supported this campaign, but very few of them feel comfortable coming out to speak publicly about it, especially those still living in the hotel, because of retaliation that they are concerned about. So, you know, but if we were to really share every story that we've heard in the hotel, I mean, we could probably be here all night. You know, stories of abuse and harassment from Terrence, maltreatment, people being called foul names, women being called foul names by him, people who have confronted him directly have been verbally assaulted, people's rooms have been, you know, gone through, construction going on all day while people are still living there. You know, health issues, people actually having to be hospitalized because of the dust in the air from construction on the bathroom. Again, these people who we've talked to don't feel comfortable coming out and speaking because they're afraid of retaliation and being thrown out on the streets. Just to get another perspective on the situation, I just wanted to ask Oren to really briefly share some of what he shared with us before about the situation. Oren has lived in the hotel for
2.5 years.
2.5 years, and is still currently looking for a place to live. You know, we only have 2 more weeks to find people a place to live, and if we don't, then people are going to be out on the streets. So just wanted to give Oren a chance to share a little bit.
Well, I've run into a dead end. The last minute, the third prospective roommate backed out at the last second. And I've relied on my best doctors putting in their 2 cents to housing commission to go to HUD in hopes that they would bump me up because someone took me off the HUD list for a year, which made me only on the list for a year and 4 months instead of 2.5 years. And it's a matter of time ticking before the 9th to see if it works. So I don't have to worry about it or wonder when someone's going in my room when I'm at the doctor's appointment or downstairs getting fresh air or smoking when somebody could be going in my room like they did last time I was downstairs.
So yeah, as you can see, like what this eviction means in concrete terms is increased hardship for people in Petaluma, people who have lived here for decades, increased homelessness. We've already heard from people who came to our public meeting who are living out of their cars. Increased poverty, people having to look for new places to live, more expensive places to live, put down new rental deposits, move out of their homes, find time to, help people, have people help them move. So, this is increasing homelessness, poverty, and hardship in Petaluma. Mostly senior citizens with serious physical disabilities are being thrown out onto the street. This means increased health problems, increased social problems, reliance on social services. We believe that Terrence Andrews can stop these things from happening. He has the ability to do that if he just does the right thing and works with us to meet our demands. We feel like these things deserve a response from the community. We don't feel like we should live in a community where our most vulnerable residents are displaced from their homes, from their longtime homes, simply to line the pockets of a property speculator from another town. So to that end, we're calling for several actions to deal with this. The first one is tonight. Several of us, will be speaking before City Council and asking them for their support and for asking them to do whatever it is in their power to do to delay the eviction, to pressure Terrence Andrews to meet our demands and to ensure that we have affordable housing in downtown Petaluma. We don't want that to be lost. We think that's important. Several of us, I grew up here in Petaluma, and I actually moved out because it wasn't really affordable for me to live here anymore. And so we want there to be more affordable housing. So we'll be there tonight at 7. We're also utilizing our legal rights by filing certain complaints and legal challenges and also helping people respond to things like unlawful detainers that have been placed against them. And so we're working with a team of attorneys to work through the courts to delay any potential legal action. We're also asking Terrence Andrews to sit down with tenants next Tuesday, April 9th at 5:30 p.m. To answer their questions and to hear their stories directly. That's going to be at the Phoenix Theater next Tuesday, the 9th at 5:30. We're hoping he takes the time to show up. He'll be invited personally. Lastly, we're calling for a march for Hotel Petaluma residents on Sunday, April 14th at 2 p.m. and that will be at Penry Park. We're going to assemble there at Penry Park, right downtown, and march around and try to make our voices heard for affordable housing and stopping unjust evictions in the town. We invite everyone to join us in that. Last thing I want to say is that we're going to continue this campaign until our demands are met, until we receive assistance for tenants and some sort of justice for the people living in the hotel. For more information, people can check out our website, socosolidarity.net, or facebook.com/SaveHotelPetaluma. We're also on Twitter. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, now would be the time.
Have you talked with Mr. Andrews about the Phoenix meeting yet?
He's been given an invitation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he hasn't said yay or nay whether?
No.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about the unlawful detainers.
The one case we know of happened a couple weeks ago. While we were canvassing the building, one of the people we were talking to was given an unlawful detainer. She attempted to pay her last month's rent using her deposit. He refused on the grounds that she had renovated her room. She had lived there for 13 years and gotten permission from the former owner to renovate her room. and he used that as an excuse to take her deposit. We filed a response to the unlawful detainer and negotiated with him, and as far as we know now, he's pledged to drop the lawsuit against her. So that's the latest information we have. But we are working with a team of attorneys to respond to any potential unlawful detainers as well.
Has anybody asked him if he would do this to relatives if they were in his property? If he would do a similar thing to them?
So Oren's just asking, and it's a good point, is Terrence, he comes from Marin County, and he was actually told one of our tenants that's in the hotel who couldn't make it today that she was complaining about the noise, or she was asking him how he expected people to come stay at the hotel because it's such a noisy street. And his response was, he began to brag about how where he lives, there's no noise. The only noise he hears is the garbage truck in the morning, once a week. And she felt really insulted by that. But Oren is asking if he would do this to people in his own community.
My point was, if he owned property that his family lived on, would he put them through the same stuff he's putting us through?
Yes. Good question.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater and